page. There we are. Hey, everyone. How's it going today? It is a beautiful day here in Atlanta, Georgia. Sorry, the sun's acting crazy with my lighting here. But anyway, it is the Live at 5. This is Chase Oliver, candidate for president. I'm coming to you. Let me see if I can just shift the light a little bit, if that helps. Maybe. I don't know. It's a nice sunny day here in Atlanta, Georgia. But I am coming to you, presidential candidate Chase Oliver, here for our weekly Live at 5. It's not been weekly lately. That's my fault. Let me see here. Let me see if I can fix kind of the settings there. That might be a little bit better. Okay. And if you see my cat is also here, he's starving for attention. So if you see him pop in the stream, apologies. But like cats, he doesn't care what humans do. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the campaign, where we've been the last few days, where we're heading next, as well as a little bit of current affairs and how we can apply that to the United States. So first, let's talk about where the campaign has been, you guys. So we just got back from a weekend swing through the South. We traveled first to Evans, Georgia, to meet with a local libertarian affiliate there. I had some great conversation with folks down in Evans. It's near the Augusta area. It was a very good time. Got to speak on a lot of issues, most notably immigration, which was a great conversation to be having. Then we moved on. That later that night we headed on over to South Carolina so we could wake up bright and early Saturday morning to support Erica Brown and Be Kind, Be Great, which is an organization in Columbia, South Carolina, that has devoted itself to helping the unhoused, providing food to those who need it. And because of this, the local city government has been quite insistent on being a deterrent to her trying to do her work and trying to provide direct aid to the homeless in the area. You know, folks like Be Kind, Be Great, You Are the Power, and other organizations are trying to work with the local government to try to come up with the best solutions. But they seem to be more interested in just kind of ignoring the issue and trying to push Erica miles away from where she's doing her work right now, which is downtown. So we participated in, the city said, well, instead of feeding people downtown, how about you feed them over here in this other area of town, which would require people to have to walk miles a day to get their food through residential areas, through the heart of downtown. And so it says, Iowans do it butter. That's what my shirt says. Sorry. It's a shirt I picked up at the Iowa State Fair. Someone just asked that. But, the city government is getting in the way of Erica doing her work. She is just trying to help those in need. And they're saying, well, you have to do this miles and miles away. And so to demonstrate the difficulty of having people walk miles through the downtown, through residential areas each day to get their food, we did the campaign. I participated in an event called Walk a Mile in Their Shoes that was put on by You Are the Power, as well as Be Kind, Be Great. We started out in a park where Erica did her work, feeding folks, helping folks in need. We then all marched ourselves across town to this other location where we did feed folks there too. But the reason why we were doing this is we wanted to demonstrate the difficulty it would be for those who are without housing, and many times folks who are suffering from injuries or using crutches or canes, or could be elderly. It's hard for them to get across town to get their food. So we should allow Erica to do her thing directly. We invited them. The mayor and the city council were invited to participate in this event, and they completely ignored it, which is what local government often does to its citizens, completely ignores them. And so with that, while it was disconcerting to see that the city government continued to ignore the work that Erica's doing, it was great for us to highlight the work she does and to provide a little bit of awareness for the campaign she's doing out there in Columbia to help feed the homeless. So that was a great event. We then, from that morning, we then drove from Columbia to Savannah, Georgia, helped the Libertarian Party of Georgia participate in, in the Banish Big Brother pub crawl. Great turnout. We had about 20 to 25 people there. And basically we were traveling around, pub crawling around Savannah, highlighting the fact that there are tons and tons of cameras, not just in Savannah, but really all over the place. and speaking out against mass surveillance and privacy violations from government. So we were all there. Many of us were wearing masks or face paint to basically say that, we don't want our face to be recognized by the cameras. I had a big fan in front of my face most of the time. But it was really just a great chance to get out and meet some libertarians in the area, talk to them about privacy issues, but also other issues relevant to the campaign. I know my lighting is messing up because there's just bright sun behind me, and the camera just continues to try to make up for that. I'm trying to fix this, but it's just not working today. So if you're watching this, I apologize, but hopefully you can hear me, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, so we went out. We had a chance to have some drinks with local libertarians, talk to them about the campaign, talk to them about what's important, and with that, I also got an opportunity to, let's try it this way, maybe. See if you guys can see me better when I do that. That's a little bit better. Hopefully it's not constantly going in and out of focus. Am I concerned that I'm not doing well in non-statistically relevant internet polls? No, I'm not concerned about that. I care far more about going out and about and doing my job of being a candidate and traveling around, speaking to libertarians about the concerns that matter to them, as well as speaking to regular voters about what we can do to provide a really good option to them outside of the two parties, and create a campaign that people can feel good about voting for. So no, I'm not concerned about statistically irrelevant internet polls. I am far more concerned about doing the job of being a candidate. But thank you for the question. So what am I going to be doing next? Tomorrow morning, I'm getting on an airplane to head out to New Jersey, flying into Newark. It's a new state for me. I've never been to New Jersey, so I'm taking another one off the list. That'll be state number 31. And getting out there because there is in Stanhope, New Jersey tomorrow night, there is a pumpkin carving and presidential forum event. I encourage folks in the area to come on out and see us. It's going to be a fun event. I hope there's, lots of families there. Pumpkin carving is a perfect event to bring your family to, so the kids can do something fun while you do the boring job of watching a political forum. But I hope to see lots of great folks out there. I know there's a couple other candidates who are going to be there participating in the forum. I look forward to seeing them. And really, I'm just very happy to be getting out more. And this is just the beginning. So I'll be flying to New Jersey and back tomorrow and Wednesday. And then on Friday, I fly out to Michigan to begin a tour through, if I'm correct, and I don't believe I'm leaving off any states here, it'll be Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and maybe Kentucky. I'm pretty sure Kentucky's on there somewhere. If not, they're in the next trip that'll be going on. It'll be a nice little road trip through the middle of America. Check out votechaseoliver.com if you want to stay up to date with where we're going and what we're doing. We can get you keyed in if you want to become a volunteer or a donor supporter, of course. You can do that right there. But if you just want to see where we're up to, what we're doing, where we're going, you can also just sign up for our mailing list or, as a member of the campaign. If you join up as a volunteer, we'll certainly let you know when we're in the area because we'll want you to help out. Let's see. What's next? So after that, we do have a tour through New England. We're going to hit like 6 or 7 states I've never been to before. Looking forward to that. Also, if you become a donor supporter today, right now, you're going to help us do 2 things. First and foremost, you're going to help us. If you haven't seen the recent ad that we put out, I'll play it at the end of the live stream here. I'll connect to the YouTube and we'll play it through here. It's a really good ad. I'm really, really happy that our team put it together. I think it's a fantastic display of what kind of campaign we're going to be. And so I'm hoping you guys like it. But if you do like it and you want to get more eyes in front of it, help us promote it. And that's one of the things we're fundraising to do right now is make sure that this ad doesn't just stay within the libertarian echo chamber. If you watch it, you realize we say a lot of what libertarians support, what libertarians about, why libertarians are running in the process. And that is meant for people who are not just in the echo chamber. That's meant for the average voter to see there's going to be a choice in their ballot in 2024 that is not the Republicans and not the Democrats. And we need to go ahead and start reminding as many people as possible that that's going to be the case in their state. And so that's what this ad helps us do. So if you donate to the campaign today, votechaseoliver.com, you're going to help us promote this ad outside of the echo chamber. You're also going to help us reach our $50,000 fundraising threshold. We are near that goal right now. Once we cross $50,000 before October the 31st, we are going to be invited to a campaign forum in New Hampshire where we're going to be on stage at a foreign policy forum on the same stage at the same time as Democrats and Republicans running for president right now. It's important for us to be on the same stage as the two-party system to show in real time that there is a Democratic, or that there's a libertarian alternative to the Republicans and Democrats that's going to be on the stage. And people need to know that we're running right now. And because the biggest criticism we get is that we're waiting for too long. Am I going to be happy with my FEC report that should be uploaded around? Yes, I'm very happy with our fundraising. We've done a really great job fundraising. First and foremost, we have shattered the fundraising that I did during my Senate campaign. We're already at like 3 times what I fundraised for that Senate campaign. And we did a lot with very little in that Senate campaign. So if you saw, our average dollar per vote was 14 cents per vote in that race. So we do a lot with very little. And we are doing a lot right now with comparatively very little budget to what we would have in a general election. But we're still being out there, being visible in all 50 states. So I'm very happy with our fundraising, but we want to get it over that threshold. We want to get it over that $50,000 by the end of October so we can get me on stage in New Hampshire with Republicans and Democratic candidates. Wouldn't it be great to have somebody who supports an anti-imperial foreign policy up there on stage with, say, a neocon like Tim Scott or Nikki Haley? Wouldn't it be great to have somebody who's out there promoting a foreign policy that's rooted in actual trade and peace with our foreign nations, as opposed to people who believe that we have to export our values at the barrel of a gun? Wouldn't it be nice to have somebody who's up there on stage who's going to be saying, we should actually do what Barack Obama, promised to do but failed to do when he was president by shutting down Guantanamo Bay, ending the drone war, and actually talking to other nations and to people we might have disagreements with, as opposed to just threatening them with military action all the time. I think that deserves to be on the stage. But to do that, we have to raise $50,000. And so if you're liking that kind of message, if you want to have a peace-based message on stage with Republicans and Democrats in real time, help us support the campaign by going to votechaseoliver.com today. That being said, I wanted to talk a little bit about some foreign policy that's been going on, you guys. So I don't know how familiar many of you guys are with Canada and what's going on in Canada, particularly with the relationship with the nation of India up there. But there's been a bit of a kind of a foreign policy, clash between these two nations. And I want to give you a little bit of background about what's going on there. And then let's apply that to the United States and our foreign policy, right? So what has happened is there is, first off, there is a large number of Indian Canadians who have immigrated and come into the country of Canada who are citizens. Many of them practice the Sikh religion, which is a religious minority in the nation of India. They are mostly around the province of Punjab in India. And there have been a lot of folks who have moved from that area into Canada. They have about 700,000 Sikhs, both naturalized and natural born, in the nation of Canada. So they are a large religious minority. They have members in the government, party leaders. They are very active in Canadian society. And in this community, there is a much smaller but much more kind of extreme group of Sikhs who want to have a Sikh homeland. They call it Khalistan. They're the Khalistani movement. And they are a little bit on the more extreme side of the Sikh religion. So this is, first off, giving that background, this speaks nothing to the average Sikh out there who's just a normal person practicing their faith. But because of this, I just want to give a background to what's going on. And so because of this, there are people who live in India who advocate for a separation of the Punjab region into its own homeland. Because of this, there's also, a history of terrorism that has happened. In the 80s, there was an Air India bombing that was mostly deemed to be responsible by Sikh extremists in Canada. It was flying from Canada into, or it was flying from the somewhere towards Mumbai, and it blew up the plane. And so there is this kind of tension that's already existing. And then there was a man who had been put on the Indian watch list, terrorism watch list, who was living in Canada. And a few days later, he was killed in Canada, in British Columbia, I believe. And it kind of caused tension. And then Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, recently came out and said that his government has evidence that this killing was either planned or executed by the government of India. Okay. And so this has created a lot of tension. Obviously, it is, for the Canadians, it's a matter that their sovereignty has been violated. They feel that, a Canadian citizen has been killed without trial or without any justification by a foreign nation. And this has obviously caused a lot of consternation. India, meantime, denies this, but also says that Canada harbors terrorists and that, that they ought to be punished for this. This is the rhetoric coming out of India, led by Modi. And really, I would like you guys to think just for a moment about this situation that's happening and then apply that to the United States. First off, let's put ourselves in Canada's place, right? How would we feel if another government came into the United States, killed a citizen of the United States with the justification of terrorism, or they were suspected to be doing this? Naturally, we would think people in the United States and our government would be outraged that our sovereignty is being violated and that such a thing would happen within our own borders. Okay, well, that's a reasonable response from Canada. I think it is that a naturalized citizen has been killed, right? And so Canada needs to investigate what's going on there. Canada's investigation, state law, do those square tires, South Park. Okay, I see the South Park joke, but South Park jokes aside, Canada does need to investigate what's going on here, and they have every right to. Okay, now let's place the United States in the place of India. If India did in fact do this, India went into another nation, a sovereign nation, and killed somebody who was a citizen of that nation without due process or letting that nation know, or and all in the name of combating terrorism. Does that sound familiar? Does that not sound like what we do all the time around the world with drone bombings and other actions that we've taken with terrorism as justification? It does. It sounds a little bit about like what India is being accused of doing here, and what the West is like kind of condemning India right now, backing Canada up. But we never think about like the fact that we do the exact same thing. And sure, we've probably taken out some bad people, but we do that by breaking the sovereignty of other nations, international norms, causing collateral damage, which kills innocent people, creating wars around the world that have displaced millions. To me, I wish, we had a moral high ground to stand on here, but we really don't. Where do we get off condemning India if we ourselves do the exact same thing? Isn't it time that we change our foreign policy to be something that really respects the sovereignty of other nations, and that we shouldn't be going to war unless we declare war? And if we want to combat terrorism, it shouldn't be done using drone bombs and violating international sovereignty. It should be done, through a criminal justice platform and through a way to actually cooperate with other nations and respecting sovereignty. I mean, that just seems to be the better path to me, rather than, fighting people around the world. Doesn't Canada have a no export policy on criminals if the crimes include the death penalty? That's a good reason for India to end the death penalty. I don't know about that. I don't know if Canada has that policy. If they did, you mean extradition policy? Yes, I believe that's what you mean. You mean no extradition, not no exports. I was going to say, if they don't export to any country that has the death penalty, then they wouldn't be trading with us, because we're one of the few nations that has it. I don't know if that's the extradition policy of Canada. I wouldn't be surprised because they don't have a death penalty in Canada. So, and that would also leave most of the rest of the world able to have extradition. It's just a very few countries. We're one of them that still has the death penalty. So it's a good question. That could be one of the things that's certainly holding this up. If India is going to be looking to provide the death penalty for this person, or if they would have been looking to. Rather, he is dead now. He was killed. So that being said, that could be very well the case. Honestly, not the worst policy to have. I oppose the death penalty 100%. So I just don't believe any state, particularly our state, has the right to put people to death. Because if you give the government the power just to end your life, you're giving them the power over your entire life potentially. So there's just also the matter of so many people have been exonerated post execution, and you can't bring people back to life once you've proved that they didn't commit the crime you put them to death for. So there is that. Well, we're going about 22 minutes here. I see there's a few people watching. If anybody has questions on Facebook, or I don't know if we get them on the Twitter. Let me see. Let me see if I can just pop up Twitter on my phone. So if I'm missing comments here, because I do know it shows Facebook commentary here on StreamYard. Not so sure about Twitter here. So let's see, or X, whatever we want to call it these days. Don't see any questions up on X. So if anybody else has any other questions, feel free to drop them in here in the next couple minutes. But in the meantime, I'm going to remind y'all that the best way to get active in this campaign is to join the campaign. Go to votechaseoliver.com, become a donor supporter today, or a volunteer, or just stay up to date with us via the newsletter with what we're doing. We're staying very busy as a campaign. We're demonstrating in real time, hopefully to the delegates at our convention, what a real 50-state campaign can look like, because we're staying busy, we're staying active, we're doing the work that a candidate needs to do in the general election. We're doing it right now in the primary process to show y'all in real time what we can do. That also includes staying connected with y'all. So we try to do these live streams every week. Travel is making that a little harder than it used to be. But any Tuesday, today's Monday, normally we do these on Tuesdays, but we'll try to do once a week, once every couple of weeks, a live stream just like this. So folks can stay up to date with what we're doing, how busy we're being, and what the campaign is up to. Again, we just got back from Columbia, South Carolina, Evans, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. Tomorrow we're heading to New Jersey. And then later on in the week, we're going to be hitting Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Kentucky. And then we'll be hitting a New England tour coming up after that. So we are staying very, very busy. We're still going towards our fundraising goal for the end of the month in October of $50,000 so that we can get on stage at the Foreign Policy Forum there in New Hampshire, on stage with Republicans and Democrats, providing a libertarian alternative in real time. Also trying to get our ad out there. Let me see if I can pull this up really quick here. Let me just get to YouTube and see if I can pull up my videos, and we'll go ahead and share them from there. You hear my dog in the background, I apologize. Let's see. Oh, well, if I do that, you guys, let's see. Let me see if I can present my screen. All right, we're going to share my screen, which is going to look weird for just a second. Sharing my screen. You guys should see a full screen picture of this. We have 20th century politicians who have been running the 21st century mechanisms of government for my entire adult life, and it's time for that to stop. And the people are getting tired of it. Rise up, because we will not be silenced.
Instead of just talking about liberty, we go across the country, reaching out to activists to show what liberty in action actually looks like. That's the kind of campaign for president we're running. One that shows us the positive, aspirational message of liberty that voters can connect with.
All people are free. They have inherent freedom and liberty.
We support liberty 100% unfiltered all the time.
I've gotten tear gas in the streets while I protest for justice reform.
My generation is the generation that got sent to fight the war on terror.
My generation is the generation that had the entire real estate market fall out from underneath us right as we were getting started. It's my generation that is right now trying to raise families all over the country with massive runaway inflation.
This is not a left versus right issue. This is a right versus wrong issue.
The Chase Oliver President campaign will be pulling no punches. We'll be putting a bold message of liberty forward that voters can identify with. We'll be exposing the two-party system for who they are.
Are you actually reading the bills, or are you just taking Chuck Schumer's word for it when you vote on these things? I will fight like hell to make sure that each and every one of you is replaced.
We libertarians, we want to enter this race to be a check against the two-party system and to give you somebody honest to vote for.
Why is that the radical idea, not the rational idea?
Nobody will buy and pay for a libertarian. We don't just blow with the political winds with whatever's popular. We stand on principle. And I say as a libertarian, we do not believe in the initiation of force.
Take the boot off our neck, support freedom, and support the people. Thank you very much.
I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message. So that was the ad. That's the ad that we're trying to promote. So if you want to help spread that message, please donate today to votechaseoliver.com. It is the first in a series of ads. We're trying to get out there so voters can see that there's an active libertarian campaign right now that they can get behind and support, and not have to wait until next year to see us active out in the political atmosphere. Because that's our biggest criticism that we always get, is that you guys nominated and we never heard you until after the nominating convention. Well, we want to make sure people are hearing from libertarians right now in real time. And we need your help to do that. So go to votechaseoliver.com and donate today. I'm going to go ahead and say I hope everybody had a great weekend. We got a great week coming up. But as always, I'm going to say goodbye the same way I do every week, wishing each and every one of you peace, love, and liberty.